Okay, hello. We're here with Alison Hayden. She is running for Congress in the 15th District. Hello, welcome, Alison. I'm Roger Royce. I'm your host today. Alison, could you maybe tell us a little bit in broad strokes about your campaign and who you are and why you're running?
Sure. I am Alison Hayden, and I'm living here in the district for about 10 years. I've lived in the Bay Area for about 20 years. I'm born in California. My life has been overseas, a lot in Asia. My father was in the military when I was growing up. He retired. We returned as expatriates in the business community. So through my life experience, I've been able to see a lot of how American jobs got moved overseas with technology transfer agreements and such. I lived in Taiwan, and it was under the specter of communism. So I also have a great experience living with that hovering around, kind of the rhetoric of our lives. Taiwan was under martial law all the years I was there. I graduated high school there. We bounced back and forth. And when I returned to the States, went to university in Colorado, transferred, graduated at Berkeley, and went to the Peace Corps to Bulgaria, where the communism had just been vanquished, sort of. And I saw another face of it after 50 years of communism. So this kind of political panoramic of my life is very alive, coming from a free nation, being if you will, an ambassador of America in Taiwan all the years I was growing up, and again in Bulgaria. So, you know, meeting people living in a country, and you know, I went to Chinese schools as a young. My first schools were Chinese. My Chinese is really lousy now, so I don't go around announcing that so much. So anyway, that's kind of the way I came back to the States after Bulgaria, and I was .com was taken off, and the door opened for teaching, and I thought, okay, you know, because I could feel .com was going to implode, which it did. And I started my teaching journey, and I was, the door opened to a felon camp right away. I mean, that's why I started and I got a emergency credential. And so that's how that all started rolling. And I learned all about special ed, being, you know, having contact with felons and seeing that many had organic learning difficulties. And so, you know, I have a secondary credential, and I have a special ed credential, and I have a credential for autism, or certification for autism. So that's the last 20 years that have been basically teaching. And it's been very rewarding. I love it. And I've seen another side. I've interacted with you know, with California, with the Bay Area, through the children. I've worked in basically every venue for education. I've worked with homeschoolers. I've worked with private Catholic schools. I've worked with resident facilities. I've worked with non-resident facilities, public schools, homeschool. You know, so I've done it all. I've seen much of what's going on, and I see kind of the meltdown of America. So I got involved with politics with Ben Carson. I learned about him because I work in special ed, and a lot of the kids, there's a lot of anger, and he had his story, and that's where you know, when I first was introduced to him, and when he threw his hat in the ring, and I was contacted to represent his campaign. So I did for Alameda County, and I switched to the Republican Party to do so. And I've been, when he went with Trump, I threw in my hat with Trump also, and was the area coordinator for Trump also for the Alameda County. And I served as a secretary and a treasurer there and now I'm an elected member. It's my one and only elected office. But, you know, when somebody said, a couple people from the GOP asked me if I would run, I said, you know, it just felt like it's time with my life experience, with what I've seen, and my passion for our country, and seeing, after being gone just those 5 years in Bulgaria. After Bulgaria, I went to England and I got a degree at the London School of Economics. And I was in London for a couple of years also. And from there came back. In any case, in those years I was gone and returning, it's amazing to me how much life had changed in California, and concerning, very concerning. And so, yeah, between that and education, when the opportunity presented itself, it seems it's timely. I have the energy, the passion, and the determination to keep us on the map as, you know, the United States of America, a sovereign nation that is, you know, a vanguard of the unalienable rights of every human being, and to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I see that going away. So, long introduction, but in a gist, that's where it is.
So I see that you have a really strong background in education, but also, it seems to me, foreign affairs. You've actually lived in Asia, and as you know, we're heading into a period now of very strained relations between the United States and China, and I don't know that it's going to get any better. And I think that that Congress will probably have to get more and more involved in that particular interaction. Do you have any particular views on how the U.S. should be dealing with things like IP theft, with the trade war that's going on, with how we can become a I don't know if a better trading partner, but if we can have better trading relations with the rest of the world?
Well, I'm a free trade person, but you know, just like capitalism is not pure, nor is free trade. I mean, tariffs and such are not permanent. They are temporary measures to, you know, support industry. And basically, we've seen how property, as you say, the intellectual property has been stolen, and basically our advantage is being stolen and has been stolen. And so I wholeheartedly support our president in the moves he's made. I think that they're not only wise, they're critical if we're going to continue and to be the leader of the free world. Because between that and all the AI technology and Microsoft's alliance with China, I mean, Microsoft has a very long-term relationship with China in its own manufacturing and just in its dealings over the years. So we have to look at that, and Google and
okay, look, sorry, Allison, it looks like your screen locked up on us. Okay. You locked up on us a little bit, but anyway, you're back. Well, it's just one last question here. So if somebody wants to get a hold of you and your campaign, how do they find you?
Well, my campaign website is Alison, that's spelled with one L, ALISON, Congress2020.com. I'm also on Twitter as @Alison4, the digit 4 Congress. So I'm most alive there. Facebook has been a little tight with campaigns. So I just, you know, I want to support also all the endeavors to support candidates in California. So there is going to be a swing for the vote, and please Google that, swing for the vote, and attend and contribute, support California. We can take California. Our candidates can win. Californians do not like what they're seeing, and we can take California back. I go to door to day. I don't even look at how they're registered, and there are so many people are, you know, on the side. So if we have anything of integrity of the vote in California, I think it'll go deep purple. You know, I bet red, purple, and so I want we need your support. We can't do this on our own, and we need people to show up and to give so that we can get the word out and take back California, because California is the first bite. China is up and down here in California, in the education, in industry, land ownership. I mean, you know, they're buying up properties left and right, cash. They're driving up prices, taxes on other people. They're making it difficult for people for Americans who have two paychecks paying a mortgage to survive. And so we really need to take our state back, and you know, as California goes, they say the rest of the nation. So we cannot let this happen. We need to put our people into the House. We need to have policies changed, federal policies to support the furtherance of American product, our rights. We have to protect all of our rights, our education. We've gone way aside, even though that's a state matter. The federal government does set parameters and has with STEM to get us up to speed with our ability to compete with sciences and technology and maths. We also need to do that because many of our kids are graduating unable to compete, get in a job in the marketplace, be independent learners. Then they become vassals of the state. We end up paying for it out of our tax dollars, state and federal, to support kids who are not prepared to meet this world and the competitive nature of society, of industry. So I encourage, for our state, I want to say, if you give me a moment, I will battle for us to have companies relocate here. I will battle for the low taxes and low regulations, for U.S. Space Station to be situated in our county. That will provide for training, high quality jobs, other kinds of security companies. There are many needs that can be met. We have the space, we have the aptitude, we have multicultural residents. So we have the intellectual, we have the skill sets. So it's time for us to really make use of Alameda and the part of Contra Costa, San Ramon, and please vote for, support candidates statewide so that we can take back California and take our country back.
Okay, thank you, Alison Hayden.
Thank you.